Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Robinio, the, photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder.
Monsieur, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
It's a little cliché, to be perfectly honest.
Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record?
As if anybody in this courtroom doesn't not immediately recognize me. I'm the great Monsieur Roberto Robinio, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture the very essence. Jesus Leotis, tu es une pipe. I don't speak French, so I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say here. You may have seen my works in hip magazines, Le Branche, or Suyat, whatever the fuck that is. I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon, it's the 19th century. Get with the times already. Yes, your words are very impressive, Monsieur Robinio. But let's get down to business. Could you tell us your activities were on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by the Baron to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7:30. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron and left, like a true artist.
And with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph?
I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves.
Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look. My word, that is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see. Who do we have here? In the middle, we see Baron Rogia, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Pertois Demio, the father of the defendant. And finally, we see the housemaid, Caterline, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grimm. The second is the defendant, Dame Caterline Demio. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree? Just a moment, Monsieur Remington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet.
The prosecution may continue.
Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time, at 7:30. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Volity told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Caterline herself. Hey, Falcon, that photograph doesn't seem right. It looks different to the one we borrowed from Robinio's studio.
I see it too, and so do I. Our photograph shows Caterline Duhat, Dame Caterline, and Signor Pertois. But Monsieur Robinio's photograph shows Baron Rogia, where Dame Caterline should be standing. If we assume that only one photograph was taken, then this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way. They used Photoshop! You should just slam that evidence down. Be like, bam! Inconsistency! This whole courtroom is out of order. Case closed. I can't do that. Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words. No, I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained. If I were to present it, Monsieur Robinio would ask how we acquired it and the whole trial could derail. In a worst-case scenario, I could lose my legal license and we would be arrested for theft. Shit. Oh, well, we don't want that. No, we don't. I should tread lightly. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Very well. The defense may proceed.
It's a waste of time, if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence.
All right, here we go. Gotta take a drink of water. I arrived at 7 p.m., set up my camera, capture the beauty of the evening's events in one magnificent photograph. Then I billed Baron and left. So let's take a look at some of our evidence. Alright, so the camera, I mean, there's really nothing, to my knowledge, super fishy about the camera. We know that he had it, and that he took the picture. This, I don't think, is going to do anything for us. We can't use this because we stole it, and if we put it in, we're fucked. Now, the clock could have something to do with it when he says 7 p.m. And then I think it's the clock, because there's no hands on the clock, and the housemaid, the giraffe, specifically said that the clock has never had hands on it. So, if I click on something, will it get bigger? No? Okay. So, but in the photograph, there are hands on the clock. So first I say I'm going to press 7 p.m. and then if they ask, I will present the missing clock hands. Monsieur Rubinio, you say that you arrived at 7 o'clock. Give or take a couple minutes, yes. How do you know that you arrived at 7? Well, the clock in my house read 6:45 when I left, and the walk to the chateau was around 15 minutes. I don't claim to be a flawless timekeeper, but I am a professional. I always stick to an appointment. How long did it take to set up your camera? It took perhaps 25 minutes to find a shooting location, put together the camera, and ready the film. So you arrived at 7 and the photograph took place at 7:30, and you spent 25 minutes setting up. That leaves 5 minutes unaccounted for. Falcon, surely you aren't suggesting that Monsieur Rubinio did something, nefarious in this small window of time? I mean, he could have put, I think maybe he put the clock hands up. I mean, it's worth a shot. I most certainly am. This discrepancy is of utmost importance to the case. Well, I probably spent 2 minutes or so talking to Baron, and he took a great interest in my camera. I see, but that still leaves 3 minutes remaining. I spent perhaps 2 minutes using the bathroom facilities. Falcon, do you seriously expect us to sit here and not listen to you nickel and dime Monsieur Rubinino about every second? I must agree, this is quite unnecessary, Falcon. Please stop that at once. They're stalling. What a buffoon. Okay, so maybe that wasn't the best. No, I don't. Let's press the photograph. Let's take a closer look at this photograph. Here we go. This is what I was going for. I see a mistake. It's the clock. Just to clarify, photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not? That is correct. The photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. That is most curious, because I see a mistake. A mistake? Impossible. I just told you, Monsieur, the camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any, mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific? Certainly. Click on the area of the photograph that you believe contains a mistake. I think it's right there. I think it's the clock. The clock in this photograph, there's something not right about it. Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the, key piece of evidence that implicates his client. Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Remington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture. And it's the missing hands. The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6. That much is self-evident. Which is most curious, because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Corninier has no hands! It has no hands! The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Rubinio, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless. There was no mistake, Monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe there was an error in the printing process. An error precisely where the clock's hand should be. Please, Monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You edited this photograph. Edited? I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task considering that the clock base was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing? Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubinio created a perfect alibi. And it's obvious who actually was the murderer, because we have a picture right here. Look who's missing. He edited in the Baron to his picture. The Baron killed the frog! But I mean, that seemed kind of obvious when he was being all suspicious and shit earlier. But we'll see if that's actually true. But obviously the photograph guy is helping the Baron. And why? Was Monsieur Rubinio coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough silence, let's hear some answers. Fine, you've got me, I'm guilty, I did it all. You did it, you're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grinwy. What? No, I have no idea who killed the frog, I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock. You were ordered? By whom? I dare not say. I know who. Monsieur Rubinio, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. With respect, Judge, I fear his claws. The claws of fucking lion, obviously. More than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon? That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Rubinio, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course. I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failure as an artist. Good day, messieurs. Intriguing. Pretty convincing. I gained some favor, yeah. So the clock's hands were painted on. So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Caterline as absent, close to the time of the murder. That's significant. Don't be dense, Monsieur Rabington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence. Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events. Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Caterline was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for. So what are you saying, Falcon, that the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Signor Pertor Demio, perhaps? I don't think so. The housemaid lacks a means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Pertor to implicate his own daughter. Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron deliberately tried to frame Dame Caterline? Because then, that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing. Monsieur Rabington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However, mayhaps I should offer my opinion. Oh, it's this guy. Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet. So you would think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence. Incompetence? What am I supposed to do here? I'm confused. What is it asking me to do here? What am I supposed to do? What does it want me to present here? Oh, I just accidentally clicked it. I'm a dumbass. My bad. Indeed, let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that's fine. Very good. And I trust that the defense has no objections. Hey, you're not supposed to smoke in here. No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor asked me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening.
Oh, okay, Baron. On the night of
The initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Grinwy left to visit the garden. Dame Caterline followed behind him moments later. Signor Portoir, Monsieur Rubinio, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Grinwy and Dame Caterline. That would be when I heard her cry for help.
Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there.
I'd like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity, Arson? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well, then, hit me with your best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Rorgiel, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination.